Shalom. Start off first by giving all praise and glories to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Brakatah Yahweh, Brakatah Yahushai. Call halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well. And greetings and salutations to the elect and those that help the elect before the truth. Shalom. Got a quick one. They're all, like I said, they're all quick, but this one in particular is about don't get caught up, man, with this society and the things of the flesh and carnality, and especially this woman, man. Stay the hell away. I've been kind of going heavy on it, but it's a topic that I see Jake is gonna have issues with this when that day comes. You know when the day comes where the dividing line really comes to a T, so to speak. A lot of brothers gonna fall out, man. A lot of brothers gonna get weak for their woman. Lord willing, I'm not one of them. Lord willing, you brothers watching this aren't them. But some brothers will get weak for their woman. They don't understand this life we live, this truth we live in. They don't know how to sacrifice the things of this world, for better things to come. I'm gonna get a couple scriptures. Start with this one right here. Matthew 19:29. It says, "And everyone that has forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life." Yeah, you're gonna have to give those things up, man. Those things have got to go. You've got to give those things up. And the number one culprit of you wanting to keep those things is your woman. She's the number one reason that we try to keep those things so they can keep their comfortability. So their comfort is well taken care of. They don't. I was watching a Tommy Sotomayor video. He was like, "There's certain things a woman won't do. If a man's house is all fucked up, and they ain't gonna deal with that man. If a man has the basics, the small basics, bed on the floor, a chair in the room and a TV, that's good enough for us. But that ain't good enough for them. They need lamps and drapes and shit like that. Shit that all gonna burn up anyway. So I mean, it's not bad to have nice things. Just simply saying those are the things that women look for and look to comfort you. But when that day comes, they're gonna look for that man that's ready to deal with these things before when that time comes. So keep things in proper perspective. So I'm gonna go back over here to Genesis right quick, because the perspective of this thing is what people seem to misconstrue. Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm gonna start in Genesis, the 3rd chapter, just because it sets the tone so you can understand what these women are all about. Genesis 3. I'm gonna start up at 1. And now I'm gonna start at 2. Because I want to portray it so people understand that the woman is just as much as fault as the man, which is just as much as fault as we for following these women, right? So 2, Genesis 3:2, and the woman said unto the serpent, "We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, the Most High has said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die." So the woman knew what the situation was, because Adam told her. She knew what the situation was. Just like you men tell your women, you Adams, so to speak, but you Israelites tell your women, hey, don't do this, don't do that. This is gonna happen, that's gonna happen. But at the end of the day, they gonna do what they gonna do anyway. It's all, I'm not gonna take the chip, but let them bitches get hungry, man. They gonna take that chip, and they gonna try to get you to take it. They gonna try to let you okay them to take it, and it ain't gonna prosper for you or for them. And they'll eat that day, but at the end of the day, don't be caught up in that mentality. If they want to do that and you please to dwell with her, whatever, man, do your thing. But keep the proper perspective on what they do. Right? So she knew the deal right there, not to fuck with that tree, right? Of the knowledge of good and evil. Even though the serpent coerced her into, the topic of dealing with it. It says, verse 4, and the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. For the Most High do know that in the day ye eat thereof, your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. You know both sides of it, which was true. She just had her test right there, her trial, and she failed. So I'm gonna jump down. So we all know the story. She ate it and then fed it to Adam, and he ate it, so on and so forth. But serpent hollered at her. She fell for it, and now the Most High comes down and judges them about it. Verse 11. Yes, and he said, who told thee that thou was naked? This is the Most High talking to Adam. Who told thee that thou was naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldst not eat? He says, and the man said, the woman whom thou gavest me, gavest to be with me, she gave me the tree and did eat, and I did eat. It's not like he didn't disobey a direct order and himself going there, but the woman went and got it and fed it to him. But he still ate it. So that's the mentality of the woman. She's gonna help you come back into this world. She's gonna want you to fall back into the world. She's gonna want the comforts of this life. So you gotta arm yourself with the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of what type of creature you're dealing with. They'll throw pussy and comforts and back rubs and shit like that around you. But you gotta understand, okay, go on and get that stuff, but keep a proper perspective on it. If your woman ain't calling you an asshole or mean or why you so vicious and all that type of stuff, and then you ain't got the right mentality. If your woman say, babe, I love you, it's just all sweet nothings and worldly talk around you. If your woman come up to you and she wants to talk about the housewives of who gives a shit, you ain't, come on, man. You ain't in the right perspective. You're gonna have to check her like, I don't want to talk about that bullshit. And then, and when she watch it, give a fuck if she watches it. But just know, when she watches that shit, that's just a sign of them being in that world and connected to it. So when it's time for this world to get destroyed, they ain't gonna be with that. Yeah. I'm gonna keep reading verse 13. It says, and the Lord Yahweh said unto the woman, what is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. Passed the buck. She knew the deal though, and she passed the buck. Now I'm gonna jump ahead over to Genesis 19. I'm gonna start with, this is the story about the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah with Lot and his wife and all of that. So generally you know the story, but I'm gonna just hit a few things in it. Verse 24 says, Genesis 19 verse 24 says, then the Lord rained upon Sodom and Gomorrah. 22. Haste thee, escape thither, for I cannot do anything till thou be come hither. Therefore the name of that city was Zoar. Basically, he told him, get up out of here because I need to destroy this place, but I can't destroy it yet till you get up out of here. And verse 23, the sun was risen upon the earth when Lot entered into Zoar. Then the Lord Yahweh rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven, that's what's coming. Fire and brimstone's coming again. We can warn our women about World War III, martial law, and nuclear missiles and all of that. But they hear and they're like, oh, okay, but they don't see it happening. So they're not preparing themselves to deal with that when that day comes. They're not thinking, well, let me be able to run in case a flood comes through here. I can climb a mountain, to safety. What if that's something you got to be able to do to escape safety wherever you live? or if I gotta fight off attackers or rapists or mercenaries or UN troops or martial law troops or whoever, and you don't know how to do it, you don't have the stamina to do it, or you don't have the strength to do it, you know. These things you must at least consider. Now, we're spiritual men, and we understand if we're of the elect, we're going to be preserved regardless. I mean, it's best not to leave these things to chance, but we're going to be preserved regardless. Lord willing, we're those men. But our women, they don't understand spirituality. They don't. They hear it, and it sounds good to them, and it sounds smooth, and they love it, but they don't understand the deep. It's the same with the serpent. When he said, oh, but you'll be like God, understanding good and evil. And so that's too spiritual for them. They'll hear that, but they don't fully understand what that truly means. So you have to give them something to occupy their mind and their body in a positive spiritual direction, whether they understand that it's spiritual or not, just for them to be able to kind of give you some forward progress with it. Like I said, there's women out there that will be able to do that, and there's women out there that they just ain't gonna make it. They ain't, you know, they gonna sit around and wait, and they're gonna get destroyed, you know, because their minds. Because if a woman, like the scripture said, an idle mind is. Let me find it in Proverbs. She eateth the bread of idle. She. Let me find it right quick. Yeah, it should be right here. It says she eateth not the bread of idleness. Let me see where it's at. Yeah, Proverbs 31:27. She looketh well upon the ways of her household and eateth not the bread of idleness. She stay busy, you know, and she looking upon her household. Okay, so who gonna take care of these kids when that come down? Who gonna go catch a chicken? Who gonna chase down a chicken? That, you know, or something like that, or a cow or whoever. Who gonna be able to do that if I ain't able to do it? Because the man gonna be trying to do this and hunt, and he gonna be doing all. I gotta chase these children. They gonna be hysterical. I gotta be in the right mind. There's some women out there that's like that. Some of those women will be preserved for that. Some of you men have properly prepared your women mentally for it. But there's a lot of them that ain't out there that they're still completely engulfed into this mind. When they look at the housewives of Who Gives a Shit, they see a life that they wish that they could be in, or what they would say. They put themselves into that role. Fuck that role. Y'all need to be playing that Sarah Connor role, preparing for Judgment Day. I'm talking about Terminator Part 2, Judgment Day. You know, when the missiles and all this other stuff come down, martial law, so on and so forth, lawlessness hits the streets. You know, yeah, that was all I wanted on that. And it says back in Genesis 19 and 24, it says, then the Lord rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven, and he overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the city and that which grew upon the ground. So everything got fucked off, right? Made into a desert. It says, but his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. That's what's gonna happen. These women are gonna get destroyed. They're gonna be made an example, you know, because they look back. They can't look beyond what they see right now. I got a saying that I tell my woman: you can't see 5 minutes past in front of your face. You can't see past 5 minutes in front of your face. You know, things that the immediate things is all you can think of. And because this world looks like it's all in good order, you know, you think that everything's all in good order, but it's not. Life is fucked up around here. I don't know if you've noticed in the homeless people on each corner, the prices of food in the grocery store is going up. You know, you could get 3 loaves of bread and 4 pounds of meat and, you know, a bundle of vegetables. Now you got to start cutting back on some of that, you know, because that's the price increase of this economy collapsing before it goes down. So is there more? That was the point on that. Let me go into Ecclesiastes. Yeah, because I mean, you want a woman that's gonna be. Oh, matter of fact, before I get that, let me get this right quick. Before I I'll get that. Let me get this in the Apocrypha right quick. Sirach. What's before that? Yeah, Sirach 11. Sirach 11 and 25. In the day of prosperity, there is a forgetfulness of affliction. Yeah, in this time and age, nobody understands about when you had hard times, or that hard times will be coming back to you. These women are in the same mind state. They're not considering the day of adversity coming, because this is the prosperous time. Believe it, no, as lowly as it is, this is the time to prosper. This is a good time for us right now. They're not considering the bad time that's coming upon us. Thus says the Heavenly Father, written in these scriptures. It says, and in the day of affliction, there's no more remembrance of prosperity. Yeah, I'm the type, I'm going to remind you that, hey, you had that. I told you to get ready. I told you when things were still good, you can go to the gym and work out. You could watch YouTube and watch TV for history, or watch it for your cooking channels, or you could do more positive things with your time than bullshit. You know, this is the mind state that we gotta remember. And if she don't want to get right, fuck her, man, fuck it. Does that mean give up the lifestyle you live? No, the scriptures say if you be pleased to dwell with her, and she be pleased to dwell with you, go ahead and deal. That's all cool, but don't let that mentality rub off on you. You stay mentally prepared regardless. Because to quote, brothers have been saying it, and apostles and elders have been saying it, when I think it was Noah, when Noah got saved, it was his whole household got saved because of Noah. You know, his whole household got saved because of him. When who else was it? I don't remember off the top of my head right now, but Cornelius was another one. His household got saved because of Cornelius, and so on and so forth. The men that household got saved, it wasn't saved because of the works of each individual. It was saved because of the works of that man. You know, so you got to stay on your P's and Q's if you love your family. But you got to be willing to forsake all of that to fully get into that mind state to be able to lose that family. Brothers always put this on the comment board on the live shows. You got to be willing to walk away in 30 seconds if you feel the heat coming around the corner. The famous De Niro line from the movie Heat. You know, you got to be ready to drop everything in 30 seconds. That's your woman, your children, whatever. You know, whoever, whatever that is. You got to be willing to get that up when you come into this truth. Yeah, so that affliction and prosperity, man, that's just how they look at things. But you got to know that they were designed to be the weaker vessel. It's a purpose for this whole thing. That's why when men put women in position of power, the situation instantly fails. It's meant to fail when you let a... Matter of fact, since I'm thinking on it, I thought of this one earlier. Should have just got it. It's a reason why they're in the position they are, and you're in the position you are as the man. As the man, you supposed to lead the household, and she's supposed to fall back and allow you to lead. Not even allow, but she's supposed to be with you leading the household. Society got the shit all fucked up. To quote Jeremiah 31 and 22, it says, I shall create a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. A woman will be over a man. As a matter of fact, even in Isaiah, the 3rd chapter, it says, children are their oppressors and women rule over them. They which lead thee cause thee to err. You know, they don't know they don't know how to lead properly, because they don't have the proper totem pole, so to speak, that starts with the Most High God Yahweh, then the Lord Yahweh Shai, then into the man, and then into the woman, and then down into the children. From there, when you break that cycle, you take the man out of the equation, or you take the Lord out of the equation, you don't have that full connection to the Heavenly Father, which is where his wisdom in real life really is at. So stay connected. But if the woman want to bounce, she can bounce, because she's not connected to the top. You're her connection to the top. She's not your connection to the top. Yeah, Ecclesiastes chapter 7, 25. I'm gonna start at 25. It says, I apply my heart to know and to search and to seek out wisdom and the reason of things, and to know every wickedness of folly, even the foolishness and madness. He searched out everything, righteousness and wickedness. He searched it all out to understand both sides of it. That's how wise Solomon was. Now, I'm sure, you know, when you go back in there and it talks about vanity, the negative stuff was probably didn't have to deal into it, but he found it out. And the things that are written aforetime written for our learning. So now we have an example and wisdom about the things that we don't need to delve into. You know, now we have those positive things that we, since he searched it out, to take an example from. In verse 26, it says, and I find more bitter than death, the woman. More bitter than death. Whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands is bands. Yeah, because they'll trap you up with their box, they'll trap you up with their comfort, they'll trap you up, you know, thinking that there's all kinds of things that they can do for you, or keep, you know, ways to keep you in out of the truth, or out of being spiritual and more into carnality. They want to all rub and be all in the lovey-dovey mind state all day, and they want to coax you into that. You ain't got time for that. They don't know how to turn it off when it's time to turn it off. It's funny how women always got to go to the store on the Shabbat. Oh, I forgot something at the store. How the fuck you forget something at the store? I told you, simple as to write a list. You know? Let's get this shit together, man. Like, they're always going to find a way to do something carnal to bring you away from, and they need you to take them to the store. They can't go on their own. You know? It's going to be always that they need you to do something to break the spirit. You know, want you to, oh, you hungry, it's the Day of Atonement, you look so thirsty, here, this is, no, don't bring me no iced tea on the Day of Atonement or nothing like that. This is the type of shit women will do to you, especially being in this truth. It says, and I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart, whose mind is snares and nets. All they think about is how to trap up a man in some way, shape, or form. That's why they dress the way they dress. It says, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleaseth the Most High shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. Behold, behold, this have I found, saith the preacher Solomon, King Solomon. It says, counting one by one to find out the account. He actually went and did a survey to find out the true account about these women. It says, which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found, a righteous man, right? But a woman among all those have I not found. Out of 1,000, he ain't found a woman. There's 0 women out of 1,000 that he found that were righteous. And we all know he counted the account because he had 1,000 wives. Well, 300 wives and 700 concubines, or vice versa. I don't forget which it was. But he had 1,000 women. Nonetheless, they were all women. So, I mean, he counted the account to figure it out. And there was none righteous of them. So don't think these women is going to have your back when it comes down to this truth, to being truly spiritual. When the time of affliction comes, you on your own. Now, she going to humble down, especially if she see you getting power. If you have resources, you have knowledge, wisdom, and stability in your life, and the Most High is dealing with you, yeah, she going to be down with it. That's when you deal, and that's when you take that point for what it is in that time. But now, don't expect these women to be on no level. Don't expect that. If they on a certain level, keep your eyes on them, man. Because any moment a woman gets fed up, look as a box wife. I hate to bring it up, but look as a box wife. The moment she get, you know, a certain attitude or energy or demon or whoever the fuck hop on her, what she do? She go blast that man's whole life. So keep your eye on these women, man, but from a distance. Don't let them too close to where they can pull you out of the spiritual thing that we're into. And if you got one and you trying to get in, they're going to try to apprehend you from getting in. You know, they're going to try to set up stumbling blocks so you don't get in. Just know that. That's why the scriptures say what they say. Let me keep going. There's another one I wanted in it should be right here in Matthew. Perfect. Matthew 10, and I'm gonna start at 35. It says, this is Yahweh Shai speaking, who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ. It says, for I am come to set a man at variance against his father. Yeah, because our forefathers are right, but our fathers of the flesh, man, they counseled us into the ways that they thought were right, not to the right ways of the Heavenly Father. It says, and daughter against her mother, right? And daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. That's why at a certain age, moms especially is trying to get rid of their daughter, because once the daughter starts growing up, the mom looks back at her and looks at her like, gets with a jealous eye, like, damn, she becoming what I used to be. I wish I could be that again. I ain't got no man, and she got all these boys calling the house, and bitch, look, what's wrong with you? And then what's gonna be wrong with her when the day finally comes to that? It says, here's the point, verse 36. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household. A scripture that popped in my head right quick was, as is the mother, so shall be the daughter. If you allow your daughter to be completely raised by her mother, if she's not a good woman and you ain't with that mother, your daughter could easily end up like that. I know I have a daughter, and I watch little shit that I have to check damn near on the daily with my daughter, just because I don't want her picking up them wicked ass ways of her mom. So whenever I come across my daughter, I make sure that I check the little shit when I see it. That the shit I don't like that her mom is being inputted by her mama, I get rid of that shit off the top. You gotta stay on them like that. You gotta stay on your woman like that, and you gotta stay on your daughter like that. There should be a healthy amount of fear from your woman to you that she has for you, and that your children have for you. You should, just like we have for the Heavenly Father, there's a healthy fear. When you do right, then you okay. But you do right because you have that healthy fear, and you know there's a discipline and a disciplinary action that'll come with if you do wrong. They should know the same thing. I'm not saying that you have to beat your woman. I'm not trying to tell you that, especially not in this society. But my woman, she gets frustrated because I give her a tongue lashing every once in a while when she fucking up. She don't like to hear it. Sometimes when she ain't fucking up, she thinking everything is all good. I got old shit stored up that I see could pop up in it. I hop on it. Same with the children. You gotta shake things up like that. They respect you more for it later, especially when they sit back and figure it out that, hey, okay, I needed that. I said quick, but this is what it's become. Verse 37. I'm gonna read 36 again. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household. So those that's closer to you. Your kids gonna want to do certain things that are of the world on Day of Atonement. My kids gonna want to eat. I'm not gonna hold them to that. They're young. They ain't gotta partake in that. So because they still up under me right now. But when my son reaches a certain age, hey, son, hey, you gotta do this. I'm trying to build him up now to where he can understand the foundation that this is. He sees it being an important staple in my life, and I want him to know that it will be a staple in his life if we're here that long. Even now, that this is where I get the stuff that I teach him from. It says, and the man's foe shall be there of his own household. And your woman is always going to be at odds and ends with you. There's always going to be that head bumping and divide. Because she going to want to go on vacation. She going to want to go, let's go out tonight. And not telling you not to go out, but keep a proper perspective on what y'all do. I ain't going to the club so I can get all kinds of androgynous demons and Baphomets on me. I'm just cool on all of that. Let's cut some music on in the house. We go get some drink and chill at the house. We can go to the movies. We ain't seeing no wicked shit. I ain't going to see whatever the fuck, Tyler Perry new bullshit. No, I ain't paying money for that. I'll go see a apocalyptic movie. I'll see a comedy, depending on what it is. Action movie, depending on what it is. But that's me, especially when they got the free internet shit out there. Because women are like that. Even though she know how to cook certain food, and y'all can put the free internet movies on, y'all got Netflix and all of that, she'll still want to go out and be in that worldly environment and that worldly energy, and she's gonna try to get you out in that. Not that you can't do it, because you may be spiritually discerned enough to deal with it, strong enough spiritually to deal with it, but that don't mean she is. When we go out, I talk shit the whole time we out. I mean, not to ruin the time, but I talk shit in the sense of not ruining the time we have, but cracking jokes, so to speak, on the wickedness of all these other people. You know, if she, I dare her say some shit like, "Dang, you just tripping tonight, tripping. Fuck, we going home now. And I'm about to cuss your ass out the whole way home." That's the mentality that I try not to be in as much, but sometimes that's what it called for, man. Fuck it. You know? Don't try to get me in this old lollygagging ass spirit, man. Yeah, man. So just, I'm gonna top it off and finish up with this scripture and Micah, man. Because these women got doubt, man. They got doubt about whatever you talking about, because they don't see it, they don't believe it, because they ain't paying attention. They don't have spiritual eyes. Oh, I forgot that one I was supposed to read. Salakia. Let me read this one in Job first. Job 39:16. She is hardened against her young ones as though they were not. That ain't the one I want, but I'll read it anyway. As though they were not hers. Her labor is in vain without fear. The things she do, she don't have fear. The thing that she worked toward is in vain. It's not in righteousness. She does what feels good. That's why I said the whole 5-minute things in front of their face. That's all they worth, man. They if you don't give them instruction every 5 to 10 minutes, something that'll consume them for 5 minutes at a time, they gonna fuck up somewhere. You know, and if you give stack too many 5 minutes in front of them, they gonna fail at it. So you gotta understand the creature that you're dealing with. This creature is the weaker vessel. You know, let me finish reading this part. So the things, her labor is in vain without fear. She's not thinking spiritually, oh, if I do this, the Most High. I guarantee you go bring some bacon to the house, be like, hey, cook this up, put this in our burgers, babe. She'll be with it. She'll be like, what? But yeah, what's gonna do that? If you just press it like you serious, she gonna roll with it, man. Cause that's how weak they are. There's few women, if any, that'll be like, nah, I ain't cooking that shit. You better get that out of here. But if they see that you really with it, and if you cook and you actually eat it, just saying, if you were to actually do it, they'd be with that shit, man. You know it. They'll hop in any religion that you in. They'll do follow you to kingdom come, or to the pits of hell. Either way, not because you know they know that that's kingdom come, but because you going there, because they want to go where you going. So you got to lead them in the right direction. So understand what you're dealing with. Verse 17, because the Most High have deprived her of wisdom. He didn't give them wisdom to where they could just figure shit out on their own. Neither had he imparted to her understanding. He didn't give them wisdom and understanding. That's why they don't have fear of the Most High. You know, and I ain't even went into Sirach 25 and 26, the chapters 25 and 26, which, you know, in the Apocrypha, those just straight up murder women, man. Straight, it's the woman's most hated scriptures if they come across it. You know, that's if you want to humble a woman, start reading out of those books. You know, but it ain't gonna do you no good. That's for you. Those chapters are for you to know, not for them to be reading and trying to humble themselves, because they're not gonna do that, because he didn't impart them with wisdom or understanding to know when they fucking up, to know that they gonna try to hold to this. They gonna try to push that worldly line, that carnality line, as much as they possibly can. They'll try to be spiritual, but they can't hold it. They're not created for that. When they were created, it says right here, because the Most High has deprived her of wisdom, neither has he imparted to her understanding. So that's just a part of them, part of their physical makeup. Let me go to Micah. Yeah, Micah 7 and 10. So don't be astonished when these women have doubt and they turn and look back like Lot, or they go back into the world, they leave you, or whatever else. That's part of this truth. Knowing that there's nothing special about neither one of these women. The special ones will happen to be there when the day of deliverance comes. And there will be some. Though there's no believers, so to speak, in this time, you know, that's in this truth, there will be some there because of the men that get them there, or because the Most High wanted them there to help rebuild the kingdom after the missiles hit, you know, in the kingdom of heaven, to repopulate the earth with Israelites. It says, Micah 7 and 10, it says, then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, and shame shall cover her. Yeah, and when she sees all the destruction and everything the prophecies told you, she gonna sit there with astonishment. You know, and then she gonna have shame, like, oh shit, he told me. He warned me to be jogging to go walking and then get this weight off me, to stop cooking this bullshit, start doing this and get the kids in order. He told me this stuff. It says, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is the Lord thy God? Where is he? You talking about he coming? Where is he at? When is he gonna come? When is all this destruction you talking about gonna happen? They're gonna question and have doubt because they don't have faith. When you go into the word feminine or female, I think it's a Latin word, compound word, fee, meaning faith, and minos, meaning minus faith. So the woman, a female, is minus faith. That's why a lot of these 2/3 ass niggas is like females, man. That's why the scriptures say men shall hold their loins as a woman travail with a child. When she's in labor pains, man, oh my God, what's going on? So men gonna be doing that as well because they got a feminine spirit on them. You look around, it's a lot of trannies and fucking men with effeminate spirits on them. The Most High ain't dealing with that. You can't, if you even delved in that bullshit at any time, the Most High ain't dealing with you, man. Unless you just didn't understand, you getting out of that mama boy spirit and you growing into a man. That's what this is about. And part of that is having that manly mentality. Not about tough guy, but about spiritual mentality. That's what makes you a man. Fearing the Most High and having a spiritual mentality and keeping his commandments to the best of your ability. Having faith, because a woman doesn't have faith, so you gotta have faith. Your faith is what will save those women that are doing the best they can. That will make it in that day that you're responsible for. So like I said, I was gonna go into Sirach too, but in the interest of time, I'm gonna cut it short. Brothers is more than welcome to go in there and see what them scriptures talk about. Talks about good women and bad women. Goes hard on the woman. No, just it's just a topic that seems to always come up. It's an easy topic. It's something that I think in these times is going to be a major stumbling block. As easy as the topic is, it's still going to be a major stumbling block. Because I see the more that we become more spiritual, especially here at Great Millstone, the more that vibe of a woman of trying to pull you out the spirit is right there. So you got to keep things in perspective. Am I saying don't deal with women or hate women? No. Just understand what you're dealing with. They're the weaker vessel. They're nearly like grown-ass children. They're going to be all emotional and shit like that. So deal with them with wisdom. All right, Lord, one of you brothers was edified. Again, I'm going to say all praise and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Call Allah Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahushai. Double honor to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well, that teach us this truth and keep us in line with this truth. And and greetings and blessings to you brothers that are of the elect, trying to fight the good fight of salvation and those that forward and help the truth. That, shalom.